You're on deck. You're on deck.
Good evening and thank you for being here today. I bet the majority of us here have had their name mispronounced once or twice in their life, right?
Yes.
I personally don't know why people get so mad and angry when people mispronounce their name. I mean, granted, I go by Nick to make it easier for white people to like me a little bit better. But I enjoy when people mispronounce my name. Sometimes I use my full name just to confuse the heck out of them. Najib Rizallah Nakhi. That's not a name, that's a conjuring spell. If you say my name 3 times in a row, you might open a portal to hell. Not regular hell, but Syrian hell. And let me help explain to you what Syrian hell would look like. In Syria, we don't have 5-year plans, we have 5-hour survival sections. Thinking out loud is a death sentence, because if your thought wandered too far, you might go beyond the sun, which is not a cruise destination, but it's when the states make people disappear. I like to think of it as the big, beautiful, disappearing act of Syria. Our lifestyle is a little bit celestial. For example, the water follows the cycle of the moon. Electricity is just a guest star that visits us once every 5 hours. On job interviews, you won't be asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But you will be asked, where do you see yourself in 5 hours? The answer is mostly going to be, I won't. The lights will be out. I just hope I'll still be here. So you have to scare those people to think of that kind of hell. And that was a very long-winded way to say my name's a little bit difficult to pronounce. My favorite mess up was at an open mic. The night was great, the host was great, but that dude was butchering every single name in the dictionary. They even butchered the name Joseph, the name of the most famous stepdad in history. So I got excited, naturally. I knew he got my name because when he first pulled my name out of the hat, his face went blank, and he said 2 words that I'm not going to say in respect to our young audience. But I didn't blame him for messing up my name. I'm a confused/confusing person at best. I'm a paradox of misassumptions. People look at me, think things, but they are not true. They think I might be manly, athletic, confident, alpha male. They're all wrong. I'm just a Middle Eastern nerd with ADHD, anger issues, and not enough money for therapy. But I like the gym. So, where was I? I like the gym. Like that. So anyway, I lost my train of thought for a second. Even in my marriage, I do count as the wife majority of the time. Because I clean, I cook, I do all the work around the house, I own more skincare and hair care products than my wife. I even take longer than her to get ready. And I have a theory behind that. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. People who get ready fast, and people who need more time to get ready. Now, people who get ready fast, they were raised with unconditional love and support. So when they're standing in front of the mirror, they see how beautiful they are, they're smiling, they're full of energy. They sometimes see a halo around them. That's just the universe telling them, good job. Us, people who need to take a little bit longer, on the other hand, we did not grow up with unconditional love or unconditional support. We grew up with unrealistic expectation, disappointment looks, and the good old ways of raising children. So, when we look at the mirror, we do not see a reflection. We just see a sign that says, not enough. When we're getting ready, we're working on our insecurities. When I'm getting my hair done, I'm thinking, is my commitment issue gone? When I'm doing my beard, it's like, am I good enough now? And when I'm selecting deodorant or perfume, I'm thinking, I need to not smell like a failure today. And let me say something. What's the deal with whole body deodorant? Really? Like, do you want to tell me that none of you people here have ever gone after the shower with regular deodorant and did this? I was the only one doing it since 2000 and being shamed for it, and now it's a whole market? Never mind. So, I am a Middle Eastern nerd, like I said, and I'm trying to represent the Middle East a little bit better. So I am working on a Middle Eastern AI agent. I call it seriously Habibi. I'm going to share some results with you here so you can, give it a, rate it for me. The other day I said, seriously Habibi, what do you think I should read next? And it said, books? You think you're smart? When I was your age, I was working 240 hours a week. Go get a job. Now the answer didn't make sense, but it sounded like most Arabic dads, sorry. So we're keeping that one. I went on and I was like, seriously, Habibi, how do you think I can raise my confidence level? It said, it's easy. Just lower your standard. Everybody's already disappointed in you anyway. That did hurt, but it reminded me of my friends. It did hurt and made me feel like at home. So we're keeping that one. But at this point, I got mad and I was like, seriously, Habibi, I'm trying to open up here, to improve myself, to be a better person, and you just keep shutting me down. That's not a way to do anything. I never responded. You still talking to me? Go give me the remote and buy me a pack of cigarettes. Now, that sounded like every Middle Eastern uncle I know. So, that was a good representation of the Middle East. We're keeping that. And after talking to it, I got really mad. I had to go to the gym to let some of my anger out. And I do love the gym. It keeps me in check. It keeps the crazy at bay. It's my health insurance. It's my antidepressant. It's my anger management. And honestly, when I was looking for health insurance, I saw the deductibles, and most of them were higher than my net worth. So I have no other choice than to be healthy. And the gym is a really interesting ecosystem, I would like to call it. Because it's a place that you pay money to suffer indoors, surrounded by mirrors, so you can look at your agony from every possible angle. And we keep going. But I do like to do people watching when I'm at the gym. So let me tell you what I have seen. I have identified some species that go to the gym. The first one are the influencers. They look great, but they have no idea what's going on at all. Their tripod gets more workout than them in the session. You would identify them by their tripods. They have 6-packs. The second group, I call them the buddies. You see them in the group of 2 to 5, sometimes more. They always have a leader, which is the person that signed up first. No matter how unfit or dumb they are, they're the leader. It's the American way. We have the gym rats, the ones that do everything very calculated. They do not take breaks, they take calculated pause. They usually use 2 or more machines because there's never enough time in the world to get their workout, even though they've been in the gym since 2011. Finally, we do have the meatheads. How do you recognize the meatheads? Ask them a question. What are you working on today? They would answer, yes. So another way that I like to think that I'm enhancing myself is through my marriage. I like to think of my wife as my sponsor for my 12-step How to Become a Human program. Recently, we got a dog because we both decided that we have too much love for just both of us. I suggested an idea that she shut down really fast, and we're not ready for kids. So we got a puppy. What could go wrong? I realized with this puppy that my wife trains me exactly like she trains the puppy. The only difference is before the puppy, my training was a little bit personalized, but after the puppy, it was all bulk. Before the puppy, she used to say, "Oh, sweetie, thank you very much, you're so thoughtful." After the puppy, she only says, "Good job," or "Good boy." And it works. When she says that, I do wiggle my tail. So by now, I'm almost fully trained. When she says she's hungry, I go fetch her a snack. When she says she's tired, I give her a massage. When she says we want to go on a walk, I never ask any questions. We're still working on me humping everything though. That's really tough to get out of. And since my set is coming to an end, sorry if I can overlook a little bit, I would like to talk to you about goodbyes. Because goodbyes are difficult for everybody. But if you're Middle Eastern like me, it's a whole different game. Goodbyes for us is not the end of a visit, it's the beginning of the next one. One time, my aunt spent about an hour and a half saying goodbye to someone. Now you might think they were like moving out of the country, dying, going for jury duty or something, but nope, that was our next door neighbor. They meet every single day. Matter of fact, they went out on the same exact evening. So, needless to say, Middle Eastern goodbye are like negotiations that never end. And you wonder why a deal peace in the Middle East is impossible. You guys have been amazing. You can find me at Instagram, Jokes by Nick. Thank you very much. You've been great. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night.